Justin invites me and Cherry to dinner at Club Prism, citing the need for high security. I am hesitant, but agree. However, I later called to say I can't make it due to an urgent work situation. Justin takes Pete to the dinner instead and, unusually, allows him to order and eat whatever he wants, despite his normally strict dietary rules. Pete becomes ill, leaving Justin worried. What will Justin do? Is Pete's condition serious? Will Justin call me for help? Justin's eyes widened with a flicker of panic. He rushed to Pete, who was curled up on the floor, whimpering in pain. In his distress, Pete looked up at Justin, his face pale and tear-streaked. "Dad, my stomach hurts so much." Justin scooped him up gently, his movements swift and decisive. "We're going to the hospital," he said, his voice tight. "Hold on, son." He hurried out, but Pete's cries intensified. "Mommy," he pleaded, his voice weak. "I want Mommy." On the way to the hospital, Justin's hand trembled slightly as he pulled out his phone and dialed my number. The phone rang and I answered, my voice rough with sleep. "This better be important," I said, my patience thin. "It's Pete," Justin said, his voice strained. "He's having a stomachache. I'm taking him to the hospital." There was a fraction of a second's pause. Then his voice became clearer, more alert. "I'll be there as soon as I can," I said, pushing aside my lingering annoyance. In the sterile, brightly lit VIP ward at NYC General Hospital, Justin sat anxiously beside Pete's bed. The door swung open, and a figure, dressed in black, hurried in. It was me. I checked Pete's pupils, then his pulse. I examined the IV drip and the monitor readings. After a thorough assessment, I straightened up, my face still tight with concern. "It looks like a severe case of gastroenteritis," I said, my voice calm, but my eyes betrayed my worry. I reached into my bag and retrieved a small vial of medication. I carefully administered a dose, placing it gently under Pete's tongue. The medicine worked quickly. Pete stirred, his eyes fluttering open. When he saw me, a soft mommy escaped his lips, a sound that tugged at my heart. He seemed to relax, his breathing easier now. With Pete's condition stabilized, I abruptly turned to Justin. I beckoned him with a sharp gesture and strode out of the ward, heading for the quieter stairwell. I turned into the stairwell, and he followed. But before he could fully enter, I spun around, grabbing his collar and pinning him against the wall. He didn't resist, leaning back against the wall, a bemused smile playing on his lips. My face was close to his, my eyes blazing up at him. "Mr. Hunt," I demanded, my voice low and fierce, "why did you call me when your son got sick?" The amusement in Justin's eyes deepened. Was he testing me? Did he suspect I knew about Pete and Cherry? He replied calmly, "Aren't you a doctor?" Of course I was a doctor. But his calmness felt suspicious. He was hiding something, and I couldn't quite decipher his intent. "There are many excellent doctors at this hospital," I countered, my grip on his collar unwavering. "Why me?" His voice was low and resonant, vibrating slightly against my hand. "But none of them are you." I grimaced, a flicker of annoyance crossing my face. It seemed he was still trying to flirt, even in this situation. But the scent of him, a subtle warm vanilla, filled my senses. We were standing so close. My grip on his collar loosened slightly and I stepped back, trying to regain my composure. But a hint of resentment still lingered in my eyes. "What exactly did Pete eat this evening?" I asked, my voice sharp. Justin, sensing my anger, didn't dare to be flippant. He listed the dishes one by one: ice cream, french fries, mousse cake, iced watermelon juice, and... As he casually recited the menu, my lips tightened. "Children have delicate digestive systems," I snapped. "They can't eat that much, especially so late. And mixing hot and cold food like that? Even an adult would struggle. How have you managed to keep him healthy until now, Mr. Hunt?" Since Cherry and Pete had switched, I'd had the opportunity to spend more time with Pete to observe his health. He was a bit thin, but otherwise he seemed fine. But hearing about the sugary, rich, and chaotic meal Justin had allowed him to consume, it made me question his judgment. Justin scratched his nose awkwardly. He usually was strict about Pete's diet. But when he was around Cherry, well, he found it hard to say no to her. However, he knew he was in the wrong this time. The usually intimidating man actually backed down, his voice sincere. It was my mistake. Only then did I relax slightly. But the next moment, Justin's lips curved into a soft chuckle, and he added, "We originally ordered all that food for you, though. Since you didn't come, Pete and I had to eat it." After all, it's not good to waste food. I stared at him, my astonishment returning. Was he actually blaming me for his son's stomachache? Pete's pain, the frantic rush to the hospital, and Justin's strangely indulgent behavior. The night was a confusing mess, and then his words, his implication that I was somehow responsible for Pete's illness, left me reeling. Was it just a clumsy attempt at humor, a way to deflect his own guilt? Or was there something more, a deeper meaning hidden beneath the surface? The questions swirled in my mind as I watched Justin, his expression still unreadable. What game was he playing? What did he truly want from me? And was I, in my desperate desire to protect my children, walking into a trap I couldn't escape?